Well, it wasn't a hard prediction to make. The conflict with Russia is escalating, no doubt about it. As I talked about in great depth in my last video about the reasons why I think the New World Order is hell-bent on starting a nuclear war, not just getting rid of Putin, not just overthrowing the Russian government. They want this to go nuclear. And again, it comes down to they believe there are too many people on the face of the earth, and they only want 500 million to be present on the face of the earth, as it says on the Georgia Guidestones, or it did say before they got destroyed. So it wasn't a hard prediction to make. All you had to do was open your eyes and read the news. That was right before your very eyes. Now, you weren't going to find that news on mainstream media. And in fact, none of these stories we're going to cover today were covered by any mainstream media. These are all from, like backdoor conservative news channels that are worried about this kind of stuff. So you're probably not going to find a lot of talk about this, but I did see top of the headline on the Drudge Report, which is now a MSM mouthpiece. The Drudge Report had a thing about how basically Putin is readying nuclear capable missiles that are like 12 times more powerful than Hiroshima. So I'll put the headline up here. But yes, he's readying his nuclear-capable ICBMs. They can be moved around, and they're moving them around a lot. Apparently, they don't want to leave a target sitting in one place for very long, so they're moving them around like daily to throw off our satellites and such, so that they'll be able to initiate first strike if they have to. And so, as I spoke about in my last video, the Pentagon greenlit the whole Ukrainian missile strike inside of Russia that have been going on now for about 12 to 14 days that we know about. I didn't really emphasize the reason that that's such an escalation in my last video. I got too caught up in the drama of the day, I guess, and what was going through my mind at that time. But I wanted to explain to you the difference between a defensive position and an offensive position. This is a clear indication that the United States, via the Pentagon, is willing to go into an offensive position inside of mainland Russia, which is an entirely different deal. So I just wanted to reiterate that because I didn't emphasize that point enough in my last video. But anyhow, Biden is now sending Patriot missiles to the Ukraine, and Putin vows to destroy them. So Putin has already said he knows where they're coming in. He can hit the train stations, the depots, the places where these missiles are coming in. There are reports coming out now that British Royal Marines were deployed for covert missions inside of Ukraine. And also, along the same lines, as we've all known all along, if you've been paying attention, the Pentagon now confirms U.S. troops are being deployed and have been deployed in Ukraine. So again, every one of these things is going to be viewed from Putin and the Russians' perspective as an act of aggression. They already knew that the U.S. troops were over there. They already knew that the British Royal Marines were over there. In fact, they've been saying that all along. And the mainstream media is just saying, oh, no, Putin's just crazy. That's not happening. Well, now it's confirmed. Another conspiracy theory confirmed. We have British and United States troops in there, probably special forces, probably mostly directing the Ukrainian troops what to do. But either way, we're directly involved with the war, the conflict between Ukraine and Russia. So Senator Lindsey Graham, a while back, I think it was earlier this year, him and others have called for assassinating Vladimir Putin. A sitting president is being called by a senator for assassination. I mean, just unbelievable. For one thing, it's uncouth to do that sort of thing out in the open like Lindsey Graham did, but it's just poking the bear in the chest. You just don't do that. So the Ukrainian plea for aid, the most recent one, secures an extra $1.1 billion. And this is right as the U.S. is readying its Patriot missiles. So again, every time we send them more money, we send them more weapons, we up the ante by sending them more powerful weapons. Several news articles that I've seen over the past few days have indicated there are generals out there that are saying, hey guys, we need to stop sending all our weapons over to Ukraine because it's going to take us decades to replenish these weapons at the rate that we can replenish them. So, I mean, that might be a big deal for national security. It's almost like FJB and his people that are behind him, his puppet masters that are really controlling him, are trying to leave us in a very vulnerable position on every issue, whether that be the border, the economy, the strength of the US dollar, the strength of the petrodollar, on and on and on. Our ability to produce energy here, to keep our citizens warm in the wintertime here, in supposedly a first world nation, are all under threat because of FJB's policies. And this war with Russia is the worst possible thing that the United States could be going through right now. I mean, this is a big deal. They're a superpower. They've got more nukes than we have. They've got more powerful nukes than we have. Now, many people have made the arguments that yeah, that's old Soviet technology and most of that stuff's not even going to work. It doesn't take very many, as I said in my last video. I don't want to be a broken record, so we're going to move on here. Putin is readying nukes capable of hitting the UK and the US in the new threat to the West. So, I mean, again, guys, this could be the last video. I mean, we could go to sleep tonight and mushroom clouds could form over every major U.S. city and infrastructure that's out there. I mean, this is just, you may not be able to make it home to your family. That's the reality of it. You know, you might see a flash in the sky and then, you know, 10 seconds later, 20 seconds later, that blast hits you and turns your car over and radiates you to the point where even if you don't die instantly, you're going to die within the next few days from radiation poisoning. I mean, it's just unreal. Unreal. It's going to rain hellfire, Sodom and Gomorrah style, if we don't stop this madness from happening. And in fact, we used to have a thing called mutually assured destruction, the MAD doctrine. And it said that basically, you know, it would be a bad idea for anyone to start the war because eventually it would escalate to the point where everyone's just launching everything they have and it would destroy the earth or life on earth. It may not destroy the actual planet Earth, but no one will be here to witness that anymore, which may be exactly what the New World Order wants. I don't know. A massive extinction level event created by people that have no business ruling our planet. They're doing this crap behind the scenes and really out in the open in your face now, and no one even does anything about it. You know, that's what I wanted to talk about. I was trying to figure out, you know, how could I title this video to get people to watch it? You know, I was thinking, well, the end of the world emergency alert, or sleepwalking into Armageddon, or, you know, I mean, I just don't even know anymore. And YouTube is suppressing my videos, obviously, but I wanted to take a moment to thank each and every one of you guys. It's been an honor. If this is the last video I'm ever able to put up for whatever reason, whether that be censorship or all-out thermonuclear warfare and the destruction of everything good about our country and our lives and our world. I mean, this is just catastrophic. I can't even believe we're even talking about this right now. But I wanted to thank you guys, all the subscribers, all the people that come in and put comments down, click the thumbs ups, all that stuff. I really appreciate it. It's been an honor, and I'm going to always stand for liberty to the bitter end because that's what I believe in. I'm constitutionally based, and I'm going to take that pocket constitution with me just in case I somehow, you know, make it through. And I suggest you do the same thing, just in case somehow you're able to slip through the cracks and survive nuclear warfare or whatever else may be coming. I mean, our border is so porous right now, and when you're out there poking the bear in the chest, what do you think could possibly happen? Well, they could send somebody up through the southern border, troops. Who knows how many people have come up through there already? We don't know. We have no idea because it's been kicked wide open. You don't do this and maintain a country. You can't do it for very long. I'm not sure we're even going to make it through this year the way these people are so arrogantly trying to start nuclear war with Russia. It's just insane. And this could be misdirection, but the Pentagon is claiming that Russia is reaching out to North Korea and Iran as it burns through its 40-year-old ammo. And I would argue that I doubt very seriously that's all Russia has going on. They probably have turned a lot of their plants into manufacturing facilities just for ammo, just like we would have done during World War II. Of course, we can't do that now because all those factories are gone. They're over in China. This guy was bragging. The head of Raytheon, like the CEO of Raytheon, came on TV and was bragging, and he admitted that the U.S. is providing real-time intel to Ukraine, and they are using our military satellites. Just unbelievable. I mean, again, if you're coming at this from the perspective of Vladimir Putin, and you're going, okay, let's see who's attacking me here. Well, we've got all these headlines coming out of the United States saying they're sending Ukraine and Zelensky hundreds of billions of dollars. I think it's hit 100 billion by now, surely. And they're sending Ukraine their taxpayer money. They're sending them weapons, all kinds of high-tech, sophisticated weapons that they're having to be trained on. The United States military is in there training them. The British Royal Marines are in there. And I'm sure the Russians know about all of this stuff. They've got a lot of the same technology, the same satellite capability and technologies that we have. So, of course, they know about this stuff. They know where the weapons are coming in. I'm telling you guys, we have never been closer to nuclear annihilation. And I'm sorry, I know some people are going to come in and they're going to say, you're just being sensational, you're being hyperbolic or whatever. No, I'm not. I'm telling you, based on the history that I've read, this is the closest we've ever been to seeing what happens when everybody launches all their nukes. Because China is rattling the saber as well. They're flying nuclear bombers around Taiwan right now. I mean, guys, again, did any of this stuff happen under Donald Trump? No, it didn't. Obviously, it didn't, because he was a strong president. This guy, Biden, is a weakling. He's got dementia. Clearly, he's got dementia. He's such an embarrassment. He can't even read the teleprompter. I mean, this is ridiculous to have these people that are, it ain't really even about age. It's about mental capability. You shouldn't be allowed to be the president of the United States if you're suffering from massive dementia, which is why I believe they came up with the 25th Amendment, so they could get people out of there that were too far gone. But the Republicans aren't doing anything. No one's doing anything to stop this guy, to impeach this guy, to slow him down, to do anything. The last two elections have had some serious real-world consequences. And I hope you guys are picking up on that. You know, what's so fascinating to me is with things like this level of intensity. You know, I can't be any more intense without screaming at the camera. And I don't think you come here for that. So I'm trying to be reasonable about this and not get all irate. But what I want to do is just, you know, go up, move up into the mountains, you know, lock down, become self-sufficient as I can, and just hunker down for the long haul, because I think this is going to escalate to nuclear war. I think it will be likely to go full-scale nuclear war. But what I wanted to say on the way out here is it's unusual to me, as exciting and as crazy as everything is right now, the daily headlines, that people are still just sleepwalking right into Armageddon. It's as if they're zombies or they're in a coma or something. And, you know, just unreal that they're this far gone, that they can't even be reached when we're at a threat of thermonuclear warfare, being vaporized, man. Everything you know. And I know people think, oh, the Ukraine, Russia, that's worlds away. That's on the other side of the world. That has nothing to do with us. It has everything to do with us. Putin could push a button and missiles will start hitting the east and west coast. They've probably got their nuclear subs down in the Gulf of Mexico and off the coast of California and off the coast of South Carolina, North Carolina, or maybe up farther towards New York City, which would be a more viable target in the eyes of the Russians. But they have those underwater nuclear tsunami bombs that are like, I mean, it will send a nuclear tidal wave across everything that it hits. We've never been closer to the end of days, end times. And we've got a demented moron as the President of the United States, making it all happen. He made this happen. So guys, I don't want to go on too long. I appreciate you tuning in. We're in a world of hurt. Really, the best thing we can do right now is get right with God and pray for forgiveness, because it could end up being Sodom and Gomorrah Part 2. And some would argue that we deserve it. With the White House doing what it's doing with marriage, they're having all sorts of like transgender celebrations in the White House with people that have openly called for doing inappropriate things with children in the past. And they have no problem with it. Maybe we are Sodom and Gomorrah now. Maybe we deserve it. But I know we're not all like that. We're not all bad. The only way I know to fight back against evil is with good and with reasonable arguments and going out and having debates with people, even people that you disagree with, although they'll probably try to shout you down. Still, you have to try to convince these people, I mean, my God, I can't sugarcoat it. These morons that are walking around with brains full of mush, try to convince them that elections have consequences, and in some cases, they could be the end of days as we know it, the end of the world as we know it. So anyways, guys, I don't know any other way to say it. The shit is hitting the fan right now. Prepare yourself mentally, spiritually, and physically for everything that could happen. I mean, because it looks like it's going to all play out just the way the New World Order wants it to. So I appreciate you tuning in. As always, I stand for liberty to the bitter end. Even if that be nuclear bombs dropping on me, I'm going to still stand by my liberty because that's what I believe in. I appreciate it. Until then, guys, we'll see you next time. I hope.
Maybe America is very much similar. Look, it's the same size. They have it's the same kind of this. And when you talk to them, there is nothing there even to beef about. We are naturally, born not to be enemies. And whenever there's conflict, it's elites. Every, American I met in a prison who is from rural area was very easy to deal with. He has no problem with Russia, and he was curious about Russia, despite all propaganda. They're losing their Christian values. They're losing their families. They're losing literally their country.